Here comes Dan Man with positive vibrations. Here comes Dan Man with positive vibrations. Here comes Dan Man with positive vibrations.
But I got to give you what you like, right? But a lot of them aren't necessarily fear-mongering. There could be truth to some of these videos, some of these conspiracy theories that you hear about. We just never really know until something happens or something is proven. Now, one thing that kind of dawned on me this morning that I didn't think about in the last two videos is this 3-eye atlas gizmo that's flying through the sky that came from another universe or galaxy or wherever they say it came from. They don't really know. But they went awful quiet on it. NASA, of course, the government shutdown was an excuse to not show any photos or any of this of the 3-eye atlas. We've got billions of dollars in telescopes up there. They can see two flies having an argument on the rings of Saturn. But all they could give us of 3-eye atlas was a photo that looked like I went out in my front yard in my underwear in the fog at night, and I licked the lens of the camera and then snapped a picture. That's what it looked like. Amateur astronomers are coming up with a lot better images than NASA, and they're awfully quiet about it. Now, there could be a lot of reasons for that, but I want to ask you this. If you knew for sure, 100%, that something was headed our way, in our direction, that could possibly hit us and be the end of our civilization, if you knew this for sure, would you tell your family? You wouldn't. Because if you told your family, you would be having to deal with unnecessary fear and everything else that comes with news like that wouldn't make any difference. And that's exactly what the government would do. If the government was to announce that 3-eye atlas is headed right at us, there's no hope, what do you think would happen? There would be complete and utter chaos. And that is something they do not want. There also would really be not much point in it. If they knew that there was no way that we could survive such a thing, they're not going to bother telling us. But how are we ever going to know for sure? We may never know for sure if something like that was to happen. It's happened before on Earth, and it will happen again. May not be 3-eye atlas, but it might be something else. And they really don't know what this is. I guess it's the third interstellar object that they know of that has entered our galaxy or our universe, whatever you call it, where our planets live. But I'm sure it's happened before. But we just didn't have the technology to notice it. But if something was destined to destroy us, they're not going to tell us. There's no point in that. I don't blame them. But I guess there would be signs that something could be up. You would probably hear, and here's a good one, okay? You know Donald Trump, our president. He likes to talk. He talks a lot. He is on the news every single day. Well, what if you didn't see him for a week? That right there would alarm me. Yep. I think we would be able to tell in a lot of these politicians' voices, in their eyes, if something was up. But they are professional liars, so maybe they could fool us. But not everybody gets fooled. And we have, thank God we have amateur astronomers. And I really haven't looked into what's going on recently, but I do know there just hasn't been a lot of talk about it. I'd be willing to say that there's nothing to it. Now, it did cause things to go on with the sun, and it caused us to be able to see the northern lights in places we never see the northern lights. And maybe, just maybe, the three-eye atlas, whatever it's doing, has something to do with the birds disappearing that I've talked about the past 2 days. Now, that is something I did not consider. Things that happen up there could be causing problems down here. Animals have a way of sensing those kind of things, but from outer space, I don't know. But they do sense things with the sun. In fact, a lot of animals use the sun. They use the moon for navigation. It's extremely quiet out here today. I saw one cardinal yesterday, but the feeders are still full. It's cold out. They should be feeding. But maybe they're just late this year. But we've already talked about that in 2 videos. But I just wonder what's going on with this three-eye atlas. What do you think it is? It's probably nothing. I'm sure that it's something that in the entire history of everything that is, it has happened many times. As I said, we probably just, we never noticed it. Or things did probably occur, maybe natural events, disasters that occurred because of it, but they didn't know any better because they didn't know that things that happen in space could cause problems down here. But I can guarantee you, if you're waiting for the government, if you think the government is protecting us, if you think they would tell us if there was danger coming, think again. That would be the dumbest thing they could ever do. It's probably one of the reasons they don't tell us if there's life outside of the planet Earth, which I believe there is. I believe that's going to be disclosed fairly soon. But they don't want panic. No government ever wants panic. I think we are ready for that. If there is life out there other than us humans, I sure hope there is too, because we got a mess down here. Maybe they have some suggestions. Maybe they had a mess at one time in their civilization and they figured a way to fix it. I am sure if there is intelligent life out there, they have been watching us for a long time. There's a lot of evidence of that. But they've been watching us for a long time, and they know we're about to screw up. And they're waiting for the right moment to step in and say, yo, how come every time I make a video, somebody's got to unleash every ounce of ammo they have in their gun? I tell you what, they like to mess with me. But if there is other intelligent life, maybe in my lifetime, I'll get to know that. If there isn't, I'm still going to live my life and nothing else is going to change. But I guess we'll never know if anything was ever going to be striking the earth. And there's nothing, I think we have nothing to worry about. We have gone through so many things in history. Just in the last 20 years, you had Y2K, the Mayan calendar thing. The world was supposed to end. We had a party on that 2012 thing. We had a party one night when I was working at the ranch. Thought the world was going to end. None of us knew the world was going to, or none of us thought the world was going to end, but just in case it was, we was having one final hootenanny. And it was fun. And then the next day came and nothing happened. But then I hear, on the other end of the coin, the other side of the coin, you had all these computer programmers and they were working their tails off to make sure nothing happened. But I think if Three-Eye Atlas was headed our way and we were in the path of it, I think some of these amateur astronomers, why can't I say that now? Astronomers would find a way to tell us all. And there have been, I don't know if these are fake or what, but there have been people who have been reporting things that they're seeing up there, that they're saying they got banned from YouTube, banned from TikTok. If that's true, who's behind that? And they may just be saying that to get views, because they always seem to appear on a different social media network telling their story again. and somehow that goes through. But the government has a way to keep you off and keep you silent. If you were to discover something, they don't want the masses to know. But I don't know of anything that could be happening right now. But Three-Eye Atlas was something I did not consider in the first two videos, but I highly doubt anything. I mean, it's just dead silent, guys. This is not normal. And I know some of you, even pretty close to where I live, are saying, I got birds. Oh, they're not here. And I haven't done anything different that would drive the birds away. My chickens. This is something different. My chickens come out every day, and they got a great big yard there. They come out. They're staying in their coops all day long. They won't come out. I throw some scratch out there. They come out and they get a little bit and they run back in. It's not windy. It's not cold. I mean, it's probably 50 degrees. But why are my chickens? And I've had these chickens for 5 years. They've never behaved like that. Animals, I don't know. They sense things we don't know. My dogs seem to be acting normal. So probably nothing, because dogs are pretty good at that too. So I guess that's it. Let me know what you think. Three-Eye Atlas, have you heard anything on it? Is there any new images? I don't have time to get on NASA's website and all these things, but if there is, let me know. But I think they have a whole lot better capability of getting better pictures than what they showed. And I seen that on Casper's site. He showed their image, and that's what he does. So I trust that he has the latest image on his channel. That was the last one I saw. They got to have something better than that, because that's what it looked like. My street light in fog, wearing my underwear. Thanks for watching, guys. Happy trails. And you like that fear-mongering stuff. You in the brown leather recliner over there with that smirk on your face. You ate all that turkey and you're just sitting there going, you're about to doze off. I'm going to have a steak tonight. Happy trails.
You are listening to 24/7 online radio.